So what you're about to hear is a woman speaking from lived experience, not theory, not vibes, not slogans. She's a mother of three with three different fathers, and she's not glamorizing it. She's warning other women about choices, consequences, and the long-term cost of treating sex, dating, and reproduction casually. This clip isn't about shaming. It's about truth, accountability, and what nobody tells you when you're young and living your best life. Let's break it down, because this message matters.
If you do not have kids yet, this message is for you. Coming from a 30-year-old mom of three with three different baby daddies, listen up, y'all. While you are out here dating and talking to niggas and having a roster and just doing you, living your best life, but calling up some meat whenever you get an urge in your flesh, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Use protection.
Listen to what she's really saying here. When you're dating casually, juggling options, chasing attention, and treating intimacy like entertainment, that's your choice. But sex isn't just a moment. It's a potential outcome, and the danger isn't having fun. The danger is pretending fun doesn't come with consequences. If a man hasn't committed to you, doesn't know your family, doesn't share your values, and hasn't earned long-term access, then he has no business having the power to change your life permanently. Because pregnancy isn't temporary, a child isn't reversible, and we were just having fun doesn't hold up when real life shows up. Use protection, use discernment, use standards. Because every casual choice is auditioning someone for a permanent role, whether you admit it or not.
Please use protection. Do not let these men who you are just having fun with, who you are just sleeping around with, impregnate y'all. Do not let these men impregnate y'all that you are not in a real committed relationship with, who you don't know like that. You don't know his family. You don't know what's in his bloodline. You don't know how he acts when he gets angry. Or you do and you like it because, y'all toxic and you think it's cute. Don't let them type of men impregnate you, sis.
This is where maturity has to override desire. If you're just having fun, that's your choice. But fun should never come with permanent consequences. Use protection, use discernment, because the man you're sleeping with isn't just a moment. He's a potential father. And before you give someone that kind of access, you should know more than how he makes you feel. Do you know his family, his values, his patterns under pressure? How does he handle anger? How does he treat people when he's upset? Because pregnancy doesn't screen for character. A child inherits temperament, trauma, and tendencies, and not just looks. You don't get to say we were just having fun once a life is involved. So if a man hasn't earned commitment, hasn't shown stability, and hasn't demonstrated self-control, then he hasn't earned the ability to permanently change your future. That's not fear, that's wisdom.
It may be fun for now. You may think that, you getting your rocks off and his meat is good. But let me tell you how it creates unnecessary trauma, unnecessary soul ties that your later self is going to regret. Now, I had my first kid at 18. I had my second kid at 21. And I was a mess in both of those stages. And even though my second baby daddy, we was in a relationship, it was very toxic. I dealt with a lot of domestic violence, a lot of cheating, a lot of dumb stuff. We both was young. I was 21, he was 27. So we dealt with all that. But long story short, he went to jail. He ain't been home since. And when he went to jail 8 years ago, I took it upon myself to level up, to be better. I didn't want to just be a baby mama. I wanted to be a wife. I didn't want to stay in the hood. I wanted to raise my kids in a better environment. So once I did all that, I attracted the man of my dreams, whom I'm with right now. And now I live the life of my dreams. Like, I live a good life and I have a good family, and I'm so appreciative. Let me tell you, sometimes when you finally get what you prayed for and you thought you've healed, once you get in a new relationship and it's different, whew, man, that's when that trauma starts boiling. And that's when you are so used to arguing, to being in dysfunction, you don't even know how to love. You don't know how to be loved. You don't know how to resolve conflicts. And then you have just extra baggage. And please hear my heart when I say this. I do not regret my children. But sometimes I wish I would have done it differently.
So she had her first child at 18, her second at 21, and by her own admission, she was a mess in both seasons. One relationship was official but toxic, violence, cheating, chaos, youth mixed with dysfunction, and eventually the man went to jail and never came back. That moment forced a turning point. She decided she didn't want to just be a baby mama. She wanted to be a wife. She didn't want the hood anymore. She wanted better for her kids. And to her credit, she did the work. She leveled up. She changed her environment. And eventually she attracted a good man, a stable man, a man who had no kids, a man who gave her the life she prayed for. But here's the part people skip. Growth doesn't erase history. Healing isn't automatic just because the relationship is healthier. When you've spent years surviving chaos, peace feels unfamiliar, stability feels boring, and love feels confusing. You're so used to arguing, defending yourself, bracing for impact, that you don't even know how to receive calm. You don't know how to be loved properly. You don't know how to resolve conflict without explosions. And all that unhealed trauma comes with you into the new relationship. She doesn't regret her children, and that's important. But she's honest enough to say, I wish I had done it differently, because her current man came in child-free, and now he's paying the emotional cost of decisions he never made. That's not condemnation, that's reality. Every choice leaves a footprint, even the ones you survive. And the lesson here isn't shame, it's foresight.
Because my man, when I met him, he didn't have no kids. You know what I'm saying? So I gave him his first child. But I got so much trauma from my other two baby daddies that sometimes it's like a block. It's like a block right there. And it's so hard to get over that. And this man didn't do nothing to me. I'm basing everything off of what the last two niggas did. And that's not fair to him. And sometimes, like, I get so caught up in my feelings and in my traumas, and I bring that into the relationship. And then not even just that. The kids that I had out of wedlock with the two men, now they in our household causing drama. Now they're in our household because they got the DNA from their daddies, and their daddies is a whole mess. Like a whole hot mess. And now the kids are just acting like their fathers. And now the next man got to deal with it. And it's not fair to him, but it is what it is. He accepts my kids. And like I said, he treats my kids like they're his. And my kids live a great life. My kids live a good life. But sometimes I just be like, wow, I really had two kids, two randoms.
This is where the conversation has to land. She finally says the quiet part out loud. She gave this man his first child, but she walked into that relationship carrying the unresolved trauma of two previous men. And that trauma didn't stay in the past. It became a wall, a block, something she admits she still struggles to get past. This man didn't hurt her. He didn't abuse her. He didn't betray her. Yet he's paying emotional interest on debts he never created. Every argument, every assumption, every emotional reaction, filtered through the behavior of men who are no longer there. And that's the truth most people don't want to face. Unhealed trauma doesn't disappear. It transfers. And it doesn't stop with emotions. The children come too. Children conceived in chaos, raised with fractured foundations, carrying DNA, habits, and wounds from men who never became fathers in full. And now another man, a man who chose commitment, inherits not just the woman, but the consequences of her past decisions. He deals with the emotional residue, the household tension, the behavioral patterns, the discipline, the responsibility, and by her own words, it isn't fair to him. Yet he stays. He accepts her children, treats them as his own, provides stability, gives them a good life. That deserves acknowledgement. But here's the hard lesson for everyone watching. Love doesn't cancel history. Growth doesn't delete consequences. And leveling up later doesn't mean earlier choices don't follow you. This isn't about shame. This is about responsibility. Every intimate decision is a life decision. Every partner is a potential permanent attachment. Every child binds futures together, whether people are ready or not. And when we pretend otherwise, innocent people end up paying the price, including good men, including children, including the future version of yourself. The real message isn't don't make mistakes. It's this: choose as if your future and someone else's depends on it, because it does.